All right, we have Shema Scott, Nate Johnson, and Tavari Johnson here for this press conference, and we have questions going.
Hey guys, first off, just 14-game winning streak, longest in the nation. How much pride do you take in it? How much do you guys talk about it? How much is it driving you? What's your attitude and mindset about it right now?
Obviously, we don't want to lose any game, so really, the streak is incredible to have, but we try not to focus on it as much as we can. We try to just go 1-0 each day, try to just focus and stay in the moment.
Yeah, exactly what he said.
Okay, and for whoever wants to take this, maybe you each had a perspective on it, but what did Enrique Freeman night kind of add to the atmosphere for you guys?
Man, I mean everything to me, bro. Just we wanted to win on this night. Obviously, it's a big night for Reek, and obviously we wanted to represent him in a good way.
And just what did you think of the crowd, all the jerseys? I don't know if
I didn't even get a jersey.
Man, though.
It felt like a Kent game, honestly, the way you see all the white jerseys, just white all in the crowd. You think you having a whiteout, but it was a great atmosphere and to celebrate Enrique.
When you think of him, and obviously this is a legacy night, right? His jersey's in the rafters now. What is his legacy in your mind?
He's a great player, great person on the court, a great person off the court. That's basically just him. You can't put it into any other words than that.
He's the Akron guy.
The ultimate Akron guy.
Yeah.
That's the Akron guy right there.
Shema, obviously down the stretch, it was still, kind of tight there. You had to come through in the clutch, and you did. Did you know you got that three-pointer off on time? Like, what was going through your head on that play, and how much did that moment mean to you personally?
I definitely knew I got it off because I looked at the clock, and all I heard was all my teammates just screaming, "Shoot!" So I shot the ball, so I knew I got that off. But I mean, obviously it was like a good moment, get the team hype, get the crowd hype, but you got to get to the next play after that. You can't really think about that for too long.
What was halftime like for you guys? Because I know obviously you led I think it was 18 minutes and 40 seconds in the first half, and then to go in with a deficit, I'm sure didn't feel great, but you came out, second half and took care of business. So what was that whole conversation like at half?
Just stay together. We know that at halftime, especially when coach is gone, we usually have time to talk between ourselves. It was just more just stay together, keep trying to improve on defense because that was the main part that they were up for real because we weren't playing good defense. But other than that, I mean, assistant coaches came in and gave us a good word, motivation to go out there and play hard, especially then we go out and see Enrique's, the jersey going to rafters and stuff. That just gave us even more motivation to go out and play hard.
For sure.
So you guys did get out on the court to watch it?
Yeah, we got to see the end of it.
Yeah, we got to see the end of it.
What'd you think?
Oh, it was awesome.
It was great to see for sure.
Yeah,
happy for him.
Crazy.
Have you guys talked at all about making history with this winning streak? Because it's a little bit of ways, but not too far away.
No, we don't focus on it.
Yeah, we definitely don't really focus on it. Like he said earlier, we just focus on winning one game at a time. If we get too caught into the streak, we're going to be out there playing tense, thinking about, we got to win this game. We just got to make sure we focus on the game plan, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Do you guys even know what the history is?
No.
Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, I just found out the MAC history. We just tied Dan Brought's record.
Well, there's 13 and 0, I
13
think.
and 0.
Yeah, but then there's another for an overall winning streak.
Oh no,
I won't tell you.
We shouldn't even know.
Don't even tell us. Don't even tell us.
Yep.
Trust me, it's too much going on.
Yep.
Last thing for me, it's like just what makes you guys mentioned the ultimate Akron guy. I think is what you said. What makes Enrique that and
everything every day basically is what coach says, and that's basically what he did. He came in, played hard every day, did his job, and off the court he was a great person, led. People love him. As you see, the crowd came out in support. That's an Akron guy.
Yep.
This game got really physical at some points, a lot of fouls, and it felt like a dogfight. So for all of you, just tell me a little bit about the mindset that you have to tap into to play out through a game like this.
I would say, every game in the MAC is going to bring us different challenges, and I know they coming in with a lot of intensity because, I mean, like, let's just be honest. They're trying to, like, win the game, obviously, and then it's, like, extra motivation with us being number one in the MAC right now. So we just got to stay locked in, not get too caught into the physicality of the game. Just make sure we play our game, and then that'll take care of everything.
Kind of what he said too, but a lot of teams will come into this game and play their record. As we know, like they're not one of the best teams, but they come out and still play hard. And actually, they came back on our 22. We was up 22-9. They came back. So them being physical, we just had to adjust and just keep playing through it.
Yeah, we knew it was gonna be a dogfight. We knew they weren't gonna quit, and we had to stay together and keep fighting back.
Yep.
Is that it? All right, guys. Thank you. All right, Coach. Opening statement.
Obviously, first, just a really special night. To be able to honor Enrique Freeman and to have him back was really special. What a great crowd. I want to thank Zips Nation. You know, we worked really hard to make sure we had a good crowd tonight for him and his family. I thought he deserved that for what he's given this place over the last 5 years. And to no surprise, Zips Nation showed out and showed up. And I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me. And I know it does to him and his family. So thank you for that. In terms of the game, I thought defensively, you know, we had been locked in on that the last couple of days about how we needed to improve on that end, and I thought we really answered the bell. You know, unfortunately, our offense, I thought, stunk. You know, it just wasn't very good. I didn't think we played fast enough. Ball didn't move. We weren't crisp. Pace wasn't good in the half court. Fortunately, we made enough plays. You know, give credit to Northern Illinois and Rashawn. I told the staff before the game, and now it's a 10-game stretch here, you know, where they've won one game in that stretch against Ball State. But the other 9 games have all been played 10 points or less. In fact, the 2 biggest deficits they've had have been to Akron both times by 10. They got beaten overtime the other day at Ball State and came back from 20 down. I think they had a 2-point loss to Central Michigan, a 4-point loss at Toledo, 89-85. And the fact that he gets those kids to just keep battling and swinging, I've got a lot of respect for that. Thought Quentin Jones was terrific for them. I thought he was incredible in both games. He had 25 in game 1, 28 today. We really didn't have an answer for him. But again, I thought our defense was really good. Got contributions in the scoring column from the 2 Johnsons and Shema Scott. I thought Shema was terrific. Took care of the ball, had 4 assists, defended, rebounded, made timely plays and free throws. Thought he competed really hard on Jones. I thought he was terrific tonight for us.
Hey, John, it's not every season you have the nation's longest winning streak. So the guys were in earlier and saying that, you know, they're keeping the focus one at a time.
Yeah.
What kind of challenge is that for you as a coach and just to –
It's not really, Nate, as long as they buy in, you know, because that's where my mind's at. It's going 1-0. It's kind of become our mantra now. Reeks just said it to the guys in the locker room. 1-0. He knows. I mean, that's how we operate. It's how we operate in tournaments. It's how we operate here. So I want them to enjoy this win tonight. They get tomorrow off. Got to get their butts in class and make sure they do what they're supposed to do there. But, like, we got to get some rest tomorrow and then get ready to go Thursday and Friday for a national television game in Athens on Saturday night against a good Ohio team. Should be a great environment and atmosphere, and we're looking forward to competing down there. But, you know, the only thing I will say is they said to me that the only other team to do it, I think, was one of Keith's teams. And to be compared anything to Keith means a lot to me because I have a lot of respect for him as a coach, a lot of respect for him as a person. He means a lot to me, means a lot to this program, means a lot to Akron. And so anytime you're mentioned in any type of breath with him, that's a privilege and an honor.
So, yeah, the 13-0 in the MAC is that record you're talking about. There's a bigger record out there. Are you not even aware of it?
Yeah, I don't deal with that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Scott. Did you know he got that 3 off in time? What did you think of him?
I
in the
thought he got
clutch?
it off in time, and I knew they'd look at the monitor and decide, you know, obviously look at it just to make sure that they're doing their job. But I felt like he got it off in time. Obviously, it was a big shot. I thought he was absolutely terrific tonight. I thought he's clear head, what I call clean heart, you know, unselfish, just wants to play and win. I'm really proud of his development mentally, physically, how much he's improved from last year to this year is really cool.
You had a moment where you got to introduce Enrique during the jersey from the Raptors, and one of the things that I think makes his journey so special is being a walk-on. He said one of his favorite memories was throwing up during that walk-on, that tryout. To see him go from that moment to having his jersey hang from the Raptors, playing in the NBA, what does that mean as his coach?
You know, unfortunately, what people don't get to see with him is who he is as a person and what he means, you know, to me personally, to our staff, to his teammates. I mean, you know, I think whenever my career's over, whenever that time comes and God will call those shots, it'll be one of the most fulfilling things that I've went through as a coach. Just to see a guy that came in at 180 pounds, dripping wet, throwing up in the trash can, nervous, almost didn't try out. I don't know if he shared that story with you. His mother was a big influence on that. Thank God he did, right? I mean, what a blessing, as I said earlier, to the city, the university, the athletic department, our program, his teammates, other people. This guy's, you know, he's one of a kind, man. Just his humility, I always say that's for a guy that's that good a player, to care as much as he does about other people and the way he treats other people. There isn't a person on our campus that wouldn't tell you they don't love him that he's met. You know, you can talk to Chad, he'll tell you. Brian Dennison will tell you. I got emails from professors, they all love him. He was the president of Student Athlete Council. He stood up for all the student athletes, regardless of sport, male, female, didn't matter. Like he just has a heart that's, and he has such good awareness of his environment in terms of how he thinks. He's special. He got the nickname the Unicorn in our office, and rightly so.
Hey, John, so I was thinking about this heading into tonight. All-American, and he's in the NIL transfer portal era, and he comes here, obviously, and gets on the team under unique circumstances. But obviously he's really good. Everyone knows it, and he stays. Do you think we're ever going to see this kind of thing again?
I don't know. I mean, all those guys stayed, right? I think, there's a lot that goes into that, Nate. For example, his girlfriend, who's a great gal, played on the women's lacrosse team. He was in the middle of his MBA. He's from Cleveland. His family gets to come to every home game. And then from a business perspective, he said one of the most smart things to me one time. He said, even if all that wasn't true, he goes, why would I even think about doing it? I got 10 months. My best chance to get to where I want to go and to win is here. How do I know how they're going to utilize me at the next spot? Am I going to be able to play inside now? Are they going to do that? Is their terminology the same, or am I have to learn a completely different language in 10 months? He had a great, again, it goes back to how he thinks. He just is smart. And so, I think you couple all that, and we've talked about it, especially a lot here recently. We've got the Fear the Rue Collective. I mean, we don't pretend like we got it. We do, and that helped. It does. It helps him. It helps all of our other guys, too. That's the reality in today's college sports world. I mean, if you were at our reunion, which I think we had media at the reunion. I can't remember, Chad, if we did or didn't. But Tress got up there and said, "Hey, man, this is what the environment is right now. And if you want to continue to be competitive, fans, supporters, all that, you're gonna have to get used to and adapt to the NIL. It is what it is. We've got to be able to support it here at Akron with that as a part of what we provide. And fortunately for us, we've been able to through the Fear the Rue Collective, and that's been a real blessing." Whether it's Reek or otherwise.
Coach, obviously a very magical night. A lot of cool stuff. Awesome presentation at halftime. But it took some of your time away. What was the quick message in the locker room to rally this team back down at halftime?
Yeah, well, it was hard. It's the first time I've ever done that. And they make a 3 right before the halftime buzzer, right? So you've got to be able to live in the present and get to the next thing. So my family, wife, obviously Reek, and Mr. Wentz, who I listened to, thought I needed to be out there. And I tend to listen to those people. I trust them, and when they're all saying that, like, you're thinking like, hey, I need to be in there. That's why I have a great staff. I was able to address them initially while the video was on, the first video, get to them, make the points I needed to make. They knew I wasn't going to potentially be in there again, or I might not be. But I felt like, hey, what this kid's done for 5 years for us, it warranted probably me missing a few seconds or a couple minutes in the locker room. Big picture. I kept saying that to myself, and so I kind of prepared myself, for that moment. And but you're right, it's challenging because you're in the middle of coaching a game, wanting to make adjustments. But we have a great staff, and I was able to communicate with them prior to my comments as well as post those comments.
Going real back to Enrique, and just the continuity here, and obviously you mentioned the senior class last year had. You had mentioned last year during your run, a lot of these guys, what makes them so special is they stuck together and they had all these opportunities. Like, I understand he benefited from the collective here, but like, what was that time like? Was he getting calls and talking to you about it all the time?
And the reason why is as soon as the season ended, I think a lot of those guys felt like they probably would, and they all came in and they all wanted a graphic sent out like right now, like, Coach, we're rolling it back. These guys all love each other. They do. I mean, I know that sounds like, but it's true. What I said with my comments, they're a lot like Greg's, a lot like Freeman. Those guys, Ali, those guys, they love each other. They've been through a lot of the good, bad, and ugly of all this together. They've been through wins and losses and disappointments and success and celebrations, and they've cried together, laughed together. Those guys they'll be a lifelong friends and relationships that are built through those championships they won. There's nothing like winning a championship together. Once you've done that, and they did it 3 times, I mean, it bonds you. And, those guys mean a lot to us. Every day I get the box score on all those guys. It shows up on my desk, whether it's Freeman Mad Ants, Freeman Pacers, whether it's Sammy in Kosovo who just won a championship, whether it's Christian Jackson in Poland, whether it's Zarius Williams in Portugal, whether it's Hankerson, whether it's Castaneda. I mean, all these guys they're still all playing. It's unbelievable. We got like 10-plus dudes playing and playing well. So testament to those guys. Our staff does a great job with them. The environment here is awesome. But those guys take full advantage of it, and it's become almost kind of our calling card. Guys get better while they're here. They have a chance to compete for championships. They get better while they're here. They earn their degrees. They become better players. I mean, it's almost, it's what we were selling, Nate. I've said this before at the beginning, before those guys got here. Those guys had to believe that what we were telling them was going to happen. Now I got guys in that locker room. They got Freeman in there. They're looking right at him like, what he was saying, could I actually, right there's the guy, it did happen. Same thing with Greg, all these different guys. And so that part, now there's evidence. But I thought it was interesting what I asked Reek. I said, you got anything to share with the guys before we bring it in? And, of course, he led the fight song. Was, guys, never, ever take winning for granted. It's hard. At any level, it's hard. Don't ever take it for granted. Don't ever just assume, it's a birthright because you got Akron on your chest. It's not the way this works. You have to do what winning requires. He and his teammates did a lot of that. These guys have done a lot of that as well. We just got to build on it.
All right, Coach, I think we're good.
Okay,
We'll see you in a week.